Toy Story 5 is here, and I'm pleasantly surprised. What's up? I'm Chandler. No, not from the show, and today we're talking about Toy Story. Now, obviously, the movie doesn't fall under my demographic anymore. I'm no longer the kid that I once was. I'm a lot older, and I didn't really connect with the fourth movie, but this one is something special, I think. I've always been under the impression that it should have ended with the third movie. I think that was a really good send-off to the Toys story. But I'm very glad that this one exists. Toy Story 5 dives deep into technology, the era of technology, and the era of not playing anymore. It's such a weird thing to think of, but technology takes over. No one's outside playing in the yard anymore. It depicts it as this evil thing that's stripping toys away from their purpose. And though I think it was kind of cute the way that they describe certain things, it definitely is the reality that we're facing. Kids these days have a tablet in their face from the second they're brought into this earth. You know, not literally, of course, but I feel like electronics play a huge part in kids' lives nowadays, which is not that good of a thing in my opinion. The video kind of shows it very well, where kids that are on tablets and kids that are playing video games and stuff like that, they're not engaging in the real world. They're not engaging with people. They're not doing anything that's, you know, fun. They're not out. They're not playing. They're not experiencing things. They're not connecting with people. And this was a very, very cute way of telling little kids that they should stay kids. They should enjoy life. They should have fun. Not only for kids, though. I think, you know, going into this movie as very much so not a kid anymore, it was a refreshing watch, to say the least. I think the same story, the same message that they're trying to get across to children, it can kind of apply to everybody. You know, go outside, have fun, be silly, just do something crazy. I don't know. I'm not much for going out and getting crazy and having fun. I'm a basement dweller, as you can see. I like my studio, but I do think that the message that this movie shares is something to take note of, and something that I thought was really cool. Not because of the movie, but not like a part of the movie. And maybe it's just because, again, this isn't the type of movie that I go see typically. I haven't really watched like a quote unquote, I know this is a kid's movie. I haven't really watched a kid's movie in theaters in a while. So maybe it's not out of the norm, but it's something that I haven't seen in a while, where there was families and kids and like everybody going and seeing this new thing. And I thought it was really cool. You know, a lot of people have been going back to the theaters recently because of Backrooms and because of Obsession, and, you know, hopefully because of Death of Robin Hood. You should check out my last post about that. I love that movie to pieces. But I'm glad. I'm very glad that the audience that we had when my brother and I went to go see Toy Story 5 was the way that it was. It was kids laughing and cheering, and, you know, there was this little cute girl dressed up as Woody, and, you know, she was seeing it with her dad, and it was so adorable. It was adorable. I'm very glad that this movie happened. I'm very glad. And I will admit, I went into this with severe skepticism. I was not excited about this movie in the slightest. I was worried that it was, I think, and my brother and I kind of share the same opinion, and maybe his opinion will change after seeing this movie. I don't know. We haven't really discussed it. We like to save our discussions on how we feel about movies for our podcast. So again, feel free to go check that out. Shameless plug. But we kind of are both under the same assumption that the story needs to end, and we have some ideas as to how they could do that. But we think that the Toy Story, I don't know why I'm stuttering so much, the Toy Story needs to come to a close. Whether that means that Toy Story indefinitely is gone for good, or just this storyline, there's parts of me that still think that it should end at some point, because I don't like the idea of them just milking a franchise for as long as possible. But at the same time, I think if they're going to continue them, just continue doing it like this. Do it when there's something pivotal in society, something that needs to be brought like to attention when it comes to the younger generation. I think that this movie served a fantastic purpose, and there's a lot of stuff that I could talk about. I don't think spoilers for this kind of movie really matters. But I'm still going to try to refrain from it. Just for those of you that want to go in blind, and see this. But visually speaking, obviously as times have elapsed and, you know, things get better technology wise, the visuals for this was stunning. I love the way that they showcased like the dreamscape that she builds. I don't know why I'm blanking on her name, but the main character, Bonnie. Oh my gosh, I don't know why I was just, you know, maybe it's because it's like midnight right now and I'm recording this after editing a bunch, but the way that they showcase like Bonnie's imagination on how these toys are playing, and like the pastels and like the visuals, the cartoony feel. Obviously it's an animated movie, but they're even more animated in this like imagination. It was just it was a really, really good movie about friendship and about having fun and about finding people that you connect with, and, you know, not to lose yourself in technology. I don't know. I went into this with such, not disdain. Disdain is a very bad word for this. But I just wasn't expecting anything. Like I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did. You know, the more that I think about it too, I like it more the more that I think about it. You know, I initially gave this a 4 on Letterboxd, but I might actually bump it up to a 4.5 now that I'm thinking about it. Cause like I was surprised. I mean, I said that at the beginning of the video, I was very pleasantly surprised by this movie. And there's just a bunch of little like subtle nods and subtle things in the movie. Like I love, I was about to say something, but I don't want to spoil it. There's something that happens near the end of the video, near the end of the movie. You guys will know exactly what I'm talking about. It has to do with Jesse, and it was just like this euphoric, like, yes, kind of situation. I don't know. I don't want to explain it too much because I don't want to spoil anything for those of you that want to go in blind. But you'll know what I'm talking about. You'll know what I'm talking about. And then aside from that, there's like some adult humor just like snuck in there for like the older audience that sees this movie with their kids. And I think that was really tastefully done. They also, there were like really, really subtle hints. This isn't a story related thing, so it's not a spoiler. But at the very end of the movie, they show an instance of kids playing, and there's like a different family that comes out of their house and they go, "Hey, what are you doing?" "Oh, we're playing," blah, 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 whatever. And then they like cross the street to go play with them. But before they cross the street, they stop and they look both ways. And that is such a small thing, but it's so important. And it was seeing that specifically, literally seeing that little tiny 2-second whatever, just like it proved my point that this is like, it's a really good movie. Like it focuses on the stuff that's really important. They know that kids are seeing this, so they need to make sure, and they take every opportunity to include details of safety, of caution, of what they should be doing as kids, enjoying their time playing. And the simple fact that they had it where the kids looked both ways before crossing the street was phenomenal. And, you know, I think we can wrap up the review there because I was just pleasantly surprised. I don't know. There's not really much else that I can say. I'm just going to be, you know, talking in circles, I guess, but, highly recommend. You definitely should check it out. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys next time. Much love. Like if you do, sub if you're new, but I'm out. I'll see you in the next one.